In this, our last Great Loop video, we'll provide information and stats of our Great Loop trip. Hopefully this answers the questions you may have about doing the trip, so let's get right into it. Hey, Captain.
Hi there, I'm Tom.
I'm Jen.
And we're the crew of Soulmate, a 2005 main ship 400, and we're doing America's Great Loop.
We divided the information up into 6 groups that cover time to do the loop, distance traveled, our fuel mileage and usage, apps and other resources we use, places we went, and our favorites. First group, questions on the time to do the loop. How long did the trip take? It took us 270 days to do the loop, but this does not include the time from when we purchased the boat until we started, or the couple of times we took breaks away from the boat during the Great Loop trip. We had 126 travel days. This worked out to be a little over 1 day off for every day we traveled. We stayed at marinas 230 nights, which is more than we thought we would. We quickly realized it was easier to access many of the things we wanted to do and see if we were at a marina. The cost for marinas was a little over $20,000 for the 230 nights. This was an average of $75.71 per night, or $1.85 per foot. Note, our boat is 41 feet long. We anchored out or stayed on walls in the Erie Canal and the Trent Severn Waterway for a total of 42 nights. The second group, questions on the distance traveled. How many miles did we travel? We traveled 5,266 miles, which is a little bit on the low side versus what many loopers travel. The main reason is that we did not do many of the side trips such as the Keys, the Bahamas, going to Washington, D.C. We had been to many of these places before and wanted to spend as much time as possible up in the Chesapeake, Canada, and the towns along Lake Michigan. We averaged 41.8 miles per travel day at an average speed of 8 miles per hour. Our longest travel day was 167.7 miles when we crossed the Gulf. The shortest travel day at 7.7 miles is a tie between the day we went from Trenton to Frankfort, Ontario, Canada, and the day we went from the St. Lucie Lock to Stuart, Florida. The third group, questions on our fuel consumption and cost. How many gallons of fuel did we use to do the Great Loop trip? We used 2,047.6 gallons of diesel for the entire trip. And we spent $8,453 on fuel, which averages out to $4.13 a gallon. We put a total of 716 hours on the engine, of which 659 were while we were moving. Our fuel burn rate was 2.86 gallons per hour at an RPM between 1,800 and 2,000 RPM. And we averaged 2.57 miles per gallon. The main ship is equipped with a single Yanmar 6LYA STP at 370 horsepower. Fourth group, questions on what apps and other resources we used. What did we use for navigation? Our primary navigation was done through Aquamaps running on an iPad and our Ray Marine multifunction display using avionics. We'd create a route using the avionics on our iPad, verify all the information, and then we would use this route both in our multifunction display and also for Aquamaps. We use the Windy app, the red version, and Predict Wind as our primary sources for weather forecasting and updates when en route. We'd also look at the weather app that comes with the iPhone as a third source. For tides and currents, we use an app called Tides Near Me, and we always had the information on Aquamaps and Navionics as a backup. Other apps we used includes Nebo, which we use to communicate with other loopers and to share our route information with family and friends. The Waterway Guide. We use the electronic monthly subscription to research locations, marinas, anchorages, fuel prices, and just about anything else we had questions about. And then the third invaluable resource was the AJLCA website and also their app. Had a lot of great information about the loop and the ability to ask the looper community any questions that we had. Other resources we use includes DACWA, Towboat US, Canada, and the Michigan DNR website to book marinas while in Michigan. The fifth group, questions on the places we went to. How many states did we visit? We went to 17 states and Canada. Where did we spend the most time? South Carolina for 55 days. Those are looping days, not including the time we left the boat and went back to Arizona for the winter. Canada for 43 days. And third place was Florida for 35 days. And where did we spend the least amount of time? It was a three-way tie at 2 days each in Delaware, Indiana, and Missouri. The sixth and final group, our favorite places on the loop, places to eat, and looper bars. I enjoyed all areas of the loop, but my favorite was traveling the Trent Severn Waterway and the small craft route in the Georgian Bay. The scenery in Canada is spectacular, the locals are friendly, the Park Canada locks were fabulous to stay at, there are many great anchorages in the Georgian Bay, and overall I just had a great time there.
Not to copy Tom, but the Loop has so many beautiful places to visit and enjoy. There's just so much to see and do. It's hard to choose really just one spot. That being said, there is one area that truly stood out for me, which was Canada. From checking into the small town of Gananoque to traveling to Trent Severn to the small craft channels we took, breathtaking spots to anchor and tie off on walls, and really the people of Canada. They were amazing, very welcoming. We spent close to 2 months in Canada, and I really do feel like we barely scratched the surface. 100% I would go back and spend more time exploring all that Canada and the Georgian Bay have to offer. It truly is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Here are some of our favorite places to eat.
name's Graham. All right, we got Bruce up here. Bruce is gonna wail on some harmonica. We're gonna do a song about a farm.
The best part of doing the loop were all of the people we met and enjoying Docktails with all of them. Here are a few pictures. When we purchased Soulmate, it was specifically to do the loop. Although it has been a great boat and we highly recommend the Mainship 400 model, we knew it would sell once we completed the loop, and that time has come. When we arrived in Orange Beach, Alabama, we contacted the same broker we used to purchase Soulmate to start our selling process. Even though we still had about 800 miles of the loop to complete, our broker encouraged us to list the boat as long as we would be willing to make stops along the way to show her.
As we clean the boat and remove all of our personal items, it finally hits us that our great loop adventure is over.
Soulmate coming out of the water. Hopefully for the last time for us.
At the time of this video, Soulmate has been sold and is with her new owners. They plan to do the loop, but feel that it's still a few years away. Soulmate's had a lot of water pass under her keel. So long, Soulmate. You've taken us to some wonderful places, allowed us to meet some amazing people. It's been a trip of a lifetime.